Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
We are excited to have you in with us tonight for another episode here of Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. It's been a great season so far. Looking forward to keep rolling forward. That's Ben Iman. I'm Caleb Hart. Ben, exciting show tonight. Once again, Pro Late Models will cap us off. Stinger 8s, Hornets, Youth Hornets, and Street Stocks. A little bit of something for everybody. The action's been great all year, and I think it's going to continue.
Yeah, got a great night lined up for us tonight. Obviously, get to love to see the Youth Hornets and get to see the kids get out there. And the late models, it's been a good story all year long so far. We'll see how they pick it up later tonight.
Our program all year long brought to you by All Ply Roofing. We'll start things off with the Youth Hornets, and as they will circle around and get ready to go, we'll let you know that the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets lineup looks like this. Mason Blodgett's the 43 from Lake Stevens. Allied Motorsports sponsored him. Lexus Tubbs in the 23 from Monroe, sponsored by DL Enterprises on the front row. Taylor Thompson, the 4-car Addison Homish, sponsored by Weatherright Roofing. And Hawk Jenkins, the 35J from Maltby, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports.
The 32 sees Sawyer Holden. That's the Weatherright Roofing machine. Alongside the 14, it's also the 14X, Jacob Levitt of Buckley, sponsored by Cameron Iverson. And rounding out the back, the 67X of Kylie Ann Surian of Snohomish, sponsored by James Peak Honest Transmission. In the backup car, which I believe is just Trinity Reppin's Hornet with some duct tape on the door number.
I know there is a brand new Surian car going together as we speak. They have picked up their safety gear for it, got a brand new seat in the thing, just not quite done yet. So one of these days we will see a new, even faster 67 than what there has been. But for now, Surian has to go to the backup. 7 cars rolling around on our 5th mile. It's the Youth Hornets to start our day off. And already, a little bit of door slamming as they go in the first and second turn.
Yeah, Hawk Jenkins gets up into second with a little bit of a push there, getting right to the back bumper of Mason Blodgett. Hawk Jenkins, a long line of Jenkins here in the I'd Hit That Motorsports crew, using maybe what he's learned from some of his elder members of that family, quickly up into second. As we go up, it looks like some of the drone shot we're debuting again here on on Home Track Heroes for Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, big thank you to David Nelson from Elevate Racing Media, who got the drone shot for us. Battle for the lead out front. Blodgett's going to cede the spot. Hawk Jenkins takes it over just a couple of laps into this race. 20-lapper today around the 5th mile on the inside. These drivers all 12 to 14 years old.
Yeah, just the kids on our track before they're on the streets, which may be good or bad, potentially how you might think about it, because these kids might get a little fast once they get their licenses, but which kid isn't fast with their license at 16?
That's right. Burn tires on the racetrack, not on the streets,
there
kids.
You go. That's
the best way to do it. Tubbs, the 23, has trying to hold on to position, as it looks like, as in and behind the 14X, Jacob Levitt, looking very racy, trying to peel around the outside groove. He is going to the outside here in turns 3 and 4. Tubbs the advantage, working to the inside. We'll hold it, at least for now, in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, I did get this confirmed with me pre-race. I talked with Alexis Tubbs and their crew. They also have cows, the family does.
Yes, they're ranchers.
Yes, they are. They had a new calf recently, which they happily named Flagger John after JD on the flag stand. So little bit of love shown there. I asked what happened to young Flagger John. Sold for car parts.
All right. Well, do what you got to do.
So, JD, just take that how you will.
Well, taking a look to the inside, Tubbs has got a good run on Blodgett. Some of those new car parts paying off for her. She's trying to move up to second. Out of nowhere, here comes Kylie Ann Surian in the backup car. She's shooting her way into 3rd.
A good run for Surian. Been fast all year in the 67X. Also get a chance to see them in Stinger action so far this year. So running double duty and now looking down the inside of Alexis Tubbs, trying to move up into second.
Tubbs holds Surian off for the time being. 2nd and 3rd, the battle in screen. Your race leader, Hawk Jenkins, is cruising. He's a long ways from anybody. Just having a nice, easy run, but this has been a good battle up in your top 3.
Yeah, good battle for sure. Hawk Jenkins had to make a couple passes to get up there, but has had it looks like he's hauling the mail right now. Just nice sailing away. But we'll see how long he can hang on. 10 laps to go for the young I'd Hit That Motorsports driver.
Yeah, full straightaway, worth an advantage at the moment as Tubbs and Surian continue to race. There is Blodgett, who has fallen a few spots back, and now challenge to the outside of Surian 67. Here comes Levitt, figuring it back out and trying to roll around the high side. We've seen him up there a few times, now gaining some momentum, and he's got a chance to take that spot away if he makes the right moves.
Yeah, Sawyer Holden's also closed up right to the back 11. So a good battle here. 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of starting to peek up in your screen. But with Jacob Levitt on the outside of Surian can't really set up that crossover move where maybe she could fake outside, make the dive inside. That move's not really there with a car on the outside of you.
Sawyer Holden goes shooting almost off screen there, but the inside opens up. Good timing for Surian, who is going to push things on the bottom. I think Tubbs has got problems.
Oh, yeah.
Alexis Tubbs, the 23 car, slowing, creeping just around the outside of the racetrack, so shuffle everybody up a position, and rough deal for the 23.
Yeah, tough break there for the 23. Now we get a better look at it. Looks like making their way towards the 5/8 axis road. Jacob Levitt, this is battle for third. Sawyer Holden gets down the inside right as the caution flag comes out. So we'll see where they reset, but now let's take a look back at what happened here with Tubbs.
Push truck will have to come to the back of the 23. Let's take a look at it, because Surian had made the big move to the inside. Alexis, I thought, was already slowing at the point in time when Surian kind of surged into that spot. So Kylie and Surian now second. Shuffle up Sawyer Holden, the rest of the crew in behind, but this has been the Hawk Jenkins Show out front here at the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets.
Yeah, so far Hawk Jenkins has had control. We'll restart single file. The Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets restart single file, so Hawk's going to have his work cut out for him having to defend for 6 laps.
Speedway Chevrolet pace car on racetrack, and once again, go Giants. Don Fairley, the pace car driver, I should say. So we will bring him back. Jenkins, just a really slow pace coming in through the corner.
I can see some of these drivers in the back getting a little eager, giving each other some bumper. Now Jenkins gets back to speed as he catches the green flag, and a good takeaway for the 35J. Clean so far. Sawyer Holden might be looking to the outside of Kylie and Surian. Here comes Jacob Levitt back down the inside of the 32.
Holden, the only driver I've ever seen build a Porsche and not use it as a street car.
Yeah. You know what? It's an interesting choice. That's one of the things I love about the Hornets. Is they could be a variety of different body types and different cars, and Sawyer Holden's rocking a Porsche. I love it.
For a while, you were just looking for something lightweight with sporty suspension and good horsepower out of it. You know, originally when Hornets came about, you saw a lot of Hondas, Accords, some Civics got used. Toyota was popular for a little while. Toyota Celica became one, and over the years, you got just a wide variety of stuff that gets used, all the way from Ford Mustang through a Volkswagen Rabbit, Mitsubishi Eclipse, and even more. It's a wide variety if you're a car lover, specifically of the 4-cylinder kind of sporty variety. Hornet Racing, all the way up through mini stock racing, definitely has something to offer for you.
Absolutely. Surian got a little bit of contact there with Hawk Jenkins, looking to get down the inside. They're side by side here as they come around turns 1 and 2. Surian will have the inside lane back around the pole and looks to close the door. Jenkins gets bumped to the back. Levitt gets loose. White flag, 1 to go.
Kylie Ann Surian, big move here in the late stages. And she has got her working through 1 and 2. Low groove open. Can Jenkins get there? Surian diving down, and in the backup car, the young lady racer gonna get it done from dead last. Surian wins, Jenkins 2, Holden 3, and we go to the Angel the Winds Casino Resort podium. Talk to him.
First time in the car this season for you, Sawyer. How did it feel being back out here on the 1/5?
Feels great.
Now, inside that battle between you and the number 14 for a long time, what's going through your head when you're tense like that for so many laps?
Just inside, outside, try to get around them.
And who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
My mom, my dad, my papa, my grandma, and Holden Development Group.
Driver the number 32, Sawyer Holden. Tough battle there for a long time. I'm afraid I'm going to drag you back to the painful moment. What were you thinking when you saw the yellow lights come on?
Try not to mess it up on the restart.
What more do you think you needed there on that final lap to try and get by the 67?
My car not to go in limp mode. That's what happened. It died on me.
And who would you like to thank for getting that 35J here tonight?
ProTech Instruction Supplies, Rish Printing, First Line Printing, my mom, my dad, the 50 car for letting me borrow a radiator, Hunter for helping me get the car out here.
Driver of the 35J, Hawk Jenkins, second place tonight. At the start of the race, you were a little bit slower trying to find the car. What did it take to just fall into that 67X?
The car was running okay today, and then something happened in Stingers, and my car was done. It's probably not going to show out here again. But thank you so much, Trinity and all the Reppins, for letting me borrow the car, and I might have to talk to my dad about a Toyota. Just kidding. We have another car, and it's going to get out here, hopefully.
What was it like climbing into a car you've never driven before here in front of a race?
It was crazy. I honestly had no clue how the day would go, but I'm very proud of how everything turned out.
Who else would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
I'd like to thank McCarthy Electric, Chip Happens, Higher Standard Construction, Simply Rocks, and my mom, my dad, all my brothers, Waltz Woodco, and all the fans that came out. I'm probably forgetting people, I'm very sorry. But all of you guys helped me so much, and I'm so thankful for everyone.
Driver of the 67X, race winner tonight, that's Kylie Ann Surian.
Our third member of the broadcast crew, DT on TV, Derek Todoroff, with the winner's interview as we get ready to work on and forward. Let's go forward. Street Stocks coming up here on Home Track Heroes and Tire Pro Street Stocks on track. Ben, line up for these guys going around on the 3/8.
Well, our first driver out is the 13 of Brian Thornborough. He's out of Arlington, sponsored by Grumpy's Field Service, although I think Thornborough might have slowed up, and that's going to shuffle the lineup on screen. We'll read them as the lineup comes as it was set. The 85 is Jim Fody out of Edmonds, and sponsored by Trademark RCS. The 22 is Kenny Erickson of Tulalip, sponsored by Central Welding. He starts alongside a member of Racing Royalty, the 39 Stuart Hardings out of British Columbia, sponsored by Harding Forklift Services.
In the third row, Jackson Beckel on the inside out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Tire Pros of Arlington in the 18J. To his outside, Marty Sokolsky out of Woodinville. Matthews Lumber sponsors the 89 machine. Row behind them, that's row number 4. Jerry Helm out of Whidbey Island is in car number 8. He's sponsored by Leffler Tree Service. Outside of him, it's a team car to the Beckel 18J, the 69 of Austin Kemp. He's out of Monroe, sponsored by Phillips Law Firm.
And to round us out, the 06 machine, Steve Potasic is out of Kirkland, sponsored by Lang Automotive. He'll be alongside the 42, Tony Deegan. Deegan sponsored by IHOP in Monroe, open 24 hours.
Indeed, there goes Thornborough on the back of the push truck. Something wrong on his car. That's newly reskinned for Brian, is it not? And a new number?
That's a new car.
New car entirely.
I believe that was Chase Jones's car from previous year.
Okay.
So last week, he's been trying to get the car out, I know. So missed opening night, but he's been working through it. And so problems there for Brian Thornborough. Tough break there for the 13.
So what it looks like is they've moved the entirety of the inside row up. And boy, that makes a front row of two really good drivers with good stuff. Guys who know how to go out and lead here. Kenny Erickson and Jim Fody on the front row of this. And this is going to be trouble for everybody else because, boy, Erickson and Fody are both really hard to pass.
Yeah, both of them good defensive drivers. We saw opening night when Steve Potasic got to Jim Fody, how long Jim Fody was able to hold off Steve Potasic. Potasic, who has probably had the most amount of speed so far we've seen, just raw speed overall, struggled with Fody to start out. Jim Fody, Kenny Erickson, could be a good battle up here front.
Big invert's not going to help Potasic either. He has got a long ways to come if he wants to continue his very strong early season performance. We'll make our way down the front straightaway. We're underway here for the Tire Pros Street Stock A main event.
Side by side, Erickson and Fody, neither one of them able to get a better jump than each other. Beckles looks like might just slide in behind 39 of Harding. Problems for Sokolsky, saw him slow up, being up off the high line. But Jim Fody will lead out of turn 1 from Erickson and Harding.
Kind of keeping an eye back there on Potasic, who started 7th, is running 7th after lap number 1. You don't have to make all that up in a hurry, but you can't get slogged behind and wait. So we'll see what Steve does. That is the neon yellow, fluorescent yellow on the one side, and fluorescent orange on the other side. 06 car just still kind of running right there in the 6th spot of the way. He's got a bid for the inside groove. Might be shuffling forward as he gets underneath Helm.
Yeah, good run there for trying to get inside him. Helm running that high line. We'll see how long that works. Trying to use the inside, following Jackson Beckel right now. These cars side by side, inside, outside, nowhere to go for really anyone to make a move.
Beckel down low in the 18. Patasic has found a lane, and he's going to get by Hill in the 69. He's working past Harding, so there's the movement you were needing to see out of Patasic here to try to get past some of the slower traffic and up to where he can hunt. It is Beckel with Patasic down low behind him, and Hill has made the correction for the outside groove to the low one, and that looks like a tire going down on the Beckel car.
If that is the problems for Jackson Beckel, real slow. If that is a tire going down, he'll get off the track, take the access road, and head straight to his local Tire Pros dealer. We know that for sure. A lot of sparks there out of the 18J. Has not been the start of the season that I know. Oh, that tire I think is gone, Caleb.
Well, he did a good job by not causing any more damage on the 18 car. As at the point in time where that thing started going down, that could have been vastly, vastly worse for Beckel. We will take a timeout. We'll come back with the conclusion of the Street Stock main event. That is up next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Coming back with the drone shot as you watch the Street Stocks haul in on the 3/8. That is just a cool shot. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Ben Hyman. This is Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Ben, the Tire Pro Street Stocks on track. And right now it's the Jim Fody show, as you saw from the drone. But now Steve Patasic, and it hasn't taken long, has worked himself into a pretty good position to go chasing Jim.
Yeah, I do love this shot. Steve Patasic is quickly coming for the lead. So is Austin Camp. Watching that 69 make his way. Oh,
Daddy! Look out.
That car got loose out of that corner. Did well to hang on to it. That's Kenny Erickson showing some of his skill and experience there. Now let's go on board with the heat-seeking missile. That is Austin Camp looking to run down Kenny Erickson and get up on that podium.
He is half a groove lower. You can see that from the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car camera that we've got going. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Ashley Saxon, for everything you do to run around and arm up these race cars with some awesome in-car footage. Camp, he's got a lane. He's making the run. Heck, left side tires just about underneath the white stripe, and he had to really saw on the wheel to hang on to that.
Yeah, Austin Camp showed a lot of skill there hanging on to that. That's going to allow, I think, Jerry Helm to get to the back of Austin Camp, but you can see how wobbly the back of that Erickson car is in the middle of those turns and coming off those turns. You can see where Camp is starting to get up and get those shots. We got a little bit too loose there as Patasic has gotten to the back bumper of Fody with 19 to go.
Well, let's see what the two veteran drivers can do with each other. Patasic has been on an absolute thunderous tear here early on in the season. Fody tried to turn him away on week number 1, but you can only hold him off for so long. We'll see what he's got. Fody, lots of power in the 85 car. See if he can make the handle just kind of marry up to all the power he's got. Meanwhile, there's the bid for third. Camp's finally got a look underneath Erickson. He'll make the pass down the back straightaway.
And Jerry Helm's trying a line that I haven't seen many other people really take so far. He's getting real high up on those entries and using a lot of that speed carrying down into the turns. You can see now he might have a good run down inside on Erickson. We'll see if he tries it again here, if he stays low. No, he'll stay low. Ooh, maybe a little contact with Erickson.
Our program today brought to you by All Ply Roofing LLC. As going up to the middle groove, there is Patasic. We've seen him go there before and make the pass. He is going to be even with Fody getting into the first turn. Can Jim make anything happen here? Man, this looks like Patasic's. He is so strong around that middle.
Yeah, this is a good battle here. Jim Fody, ooh, got a little wobble there. Patasic's going to have a good run off before contact. Fody's around. Oh, no.
Jim Fody facing the wrong direction. Caution flag out on the track. And let's get a look. Our Seattle 11 film crew, a great job of capturing this. Here's how it happened. From the top, and yep, left rear corner panel of the 06 of Patasic and the 85 of Fody, and you can see him. Yeah. That's all it took.
Yeah, Fody looks like he drifted up the track just a tad there, and now we go on board Austin Camp. Yeah, you can see there goes Jim Fody. Fody did a good job there. We got a shout out. We'll see his from Fody's perspective. Yep, just a quick touch in. Jeff Harris scrambling to get out of the way in the intersection there, or inside that circle.
Could have been vastly worse for a lot of different drivers out of this one. So shuffle everybody up and send Fody to the back, where he'll have to charge it forward now, as we're halfway-ish here in the Tire Pro Street Stock A main event. Let's stack them back up and send them back to action here on our 3/8 mile track. 2x2, and that'll give Austin Camp a chance to start at the outside of Steve Patasic.
Yeah, we'll see if Camp can get a better jump than Patasic. Camp is a good defensive driver as well. We've seen him hold off fast cars from a couple points down this season and back to last year. So Green flag back out. Looks like a good jump for Potasek. We'll see here as they go through 1 and 2.
Credit to Jerry Helm. He just kind of silently picked his way up to third. Now, Helm's got a chance to bid for second as Camp can't quite stay to the outside of Potasek. They're going to touch. Looked like a little bit there. Camp hung on. There you go. Proper English is excellent. Helm has to settle in for third, and there is Harding working his way back into fourth.
Yeah, good run so far for Stuart Harding. There's allowed Marty Sokolsky to get back in this battle. Fody trying to go down the inside of Erickson, maybe. Little wobbly is that 85. Oh! Hello. Kenny Erickson, buy me a drink first, maybe there. Getting a little, see a little preview.
Well put, man. Well put. We're down to 13 laps to go, 17 in. Helm really running strong. Fody around again into our beautifully manicured green grass, the inside of 3 and 4. And Fody hanging out. We'll see the caution flag one more time. So let's get a look. Fody has been fighting on that thing here now for a number of laps. He will come into the corner. See him touch the brakes, and at the point in time where he touched the brakes, the attitude of the car was never quite the same.
Yeah, it looks like that was almost a little bit reactionary. It looks like Kenny Erickson also got a little bit loose there, and I think he was just trying to avoid that. We'll get a good shot. Oh, Sokolsky touched some grass. Looks like maybe a chain reaction here. Sokolsky loose, Erickson loose, and then Fody just down into the grass.
None of them making any contact with each other. Let's watch now from the nose on the Fody car. Sokolsky gets off. You can see Erickson really throwing the car in, and then it kind of snaps loose on him, and obviously Jim's going to hit that brake, but clearly as the thing came back around, something was either bound up, something happened in the steering as loop-de-loo he goes, and back to the back again for Fody. Stuart Harding's going to give us the in-car shot here. So stack up 2 by 2 with Potasek and Camp one more time with 12 to go.
You'll see Camp will have another good shot here at Potasek. Stuart Harding has made his way up into 4th. He'll start alongside Jerry Helm. So we'll come in off the white line to the green flag. Good jump here for Camp side by side with Potasek. I think Potasek's just going to have a better run into the corner and clear him up and keep the lead.
Interesting looking at it, these street stocks are not shifting, or at least Stuart Harding wasn't shifting as he just rolled right onto the gas pedal and brought her back to life as he is battling hard on the outside of Jerry Helm, trying to take that position away. Helm secures it in 3rd as they spread out down the back straightaway and try to settle in for the final 11 laps here of our contest.
Good run for the left foot tree service number 8. Stuart Harding gonna get to the back, try to get back to Helm, and he might have a dive down the inside here. No, he'll just settle. Oh, Helm washes up track a little bit. That might open the door.
That's all it takes sometimes, is just a little bit of opening. Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer, where honesty is the best policy, and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to TirePros.com. Watch the Tire Pros Street Stock main event. Down to 9 to go. Stuart Harding, big run. Helm, beautiful save as Harding got in hot. Contact occurs. Both drivers keep it clean and green.
Yeah, real good battle here. 3, 4, Fody back up to 5th. Erickson and Sokolsky still hanging around in there. 8 to go, so a good battle brewing for our final podium spot. Harding really trying to close up and get to Jerry Helm. I think that's going to be a good battle here. Helm gets way loose, though. Comes off the hump.
Jerry! Oh! Demo Derby, street stock style. Coming off of turn number 4. Harding around. And Helm got a good chunk of that with 7 to go. Let's take a look. You can see, yep, Helm dipped her off, tried to bring her back, and in the course of correcting, caught a whole lot of Harding. Less visual damage from that shot than what I expected to see. Let's watch and see as Harding comes in around. He has some nose damage, but suspension might be okay. Harding may be able to continue depending on how he feels.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. Helm, that's going to probably cause some trouble there. It doesn't look like it, but when they come off the 3/8 and they meet the 5/8 there for that stretch, there is a big hump there. You come down off that thing, it is quickly easy to lose your footing and lose your, I guess, get loose there. And I think probably what happened for Jerry Helm here is Jim Fody does a good job to get out of the way.
Yeah, Fody had to be thanking his lucky stars. Let's see it one more time. from the original angle, yeah, it doesn't look great.
Yeah, tough break.
Well, we'll see how the drivers decide to handle that out. Steve Potasic and Austin Camp are probably getting tired of starting next to each other at this point in time. Potasic just wants to get out and run.
Yeah, if you're Steve Potasic, you want to get up and get out of there and get away from Austin Camp. If you're Austin Camp, it's just another opportunity to maybe try to make that outside lane work, although we know how tough that outside lane is for pretty much any car trying the 3.8 oval.
You can see Harding on the hook on the 5.8s if you really looked hard back there, so his race he has done more damage than what he was able to deal with. Helm will go to the back of the pack. As side by side for the lead. Oh, Jim. Careful, Jim. Careful. Back into the Fody car was getting squirrely.
Yeah, it looks like a little more contact. The Tire Pros Street Stocks quickly becoming the Tire Pros Car Parts class is what it feels like.
New parts for everybody.
Making the car parts guy happy, Caleb Hart.
Yeah.
I just want clean races for all of our drivers. I definitely don't want to say words and then have them either get collected in contact.
You're attempting to not lay the whammy. I get that.
I'm really trying. Brian Hausenfluck, good news. We're clear.
Marty Sikulski in the 89 working to the inside of Erickson. He's got a good top 5 run going here towards the very tail end of it. 5 laps to go. Top 3 looks secure, at least for the time being. You'll watch and see if Helm can pick his way back forward. Here comes Fody to within a car length of Camp at the very tail end. 4 to go for your race leader.
We've kind of settled in single file here. Sikulski might have a good run here on Fody, trying to get to that back bumper. Here comes the 89 coming to life here at the end of the race. Maybe looking towards the high side. That hasn't really worked super well. Gets to the back bumper, gives Fody a
Jim.
shot.
Careful, Jim.
Oh,
Stabilized quite nicely there.
The crafty veteran Jim Fody able to get the wheel back underneath him and hang on to his spot. Now here comes Jerry Helm, I think wheeling what might be the loosest car out there at this point in the race.
Well, let's see if he can handle it. He's gone to the middle and pushes wide down to just a couple of laps to go.
This battle heating up though. Sikulski making Jim Fody work for it. But Fody has the experience and the skill to hold off right now from Sikulski. I think this will be white flag in the air when Steve Potasic comes back around, Caleb.
Just got to get around one more time. Potasic looking to rack up another win here at the Tire Pros Street Stock Camp, and Fody sitting second and third. Fody under fire from Sikulski. But it is all over. Etch it in stone. This one belongs to Steve Potasic today. He'll take the win. Austin Camp close second. And give third to Jim Fody. Well done to our drivers. And let's chit-chat with them on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
You kept your composure there at the end, even during the battle with Sikulski. How do you do that?
I have no idea. It's just pure luck on my, doing this. I don't have any idea why it happens, but I don't know. I've just been in some bad spots lately. It seems to come out of it okay, though, so.
Drive from the lap 15 incident back up here to third. How you feel after that?
I feel good after that. Yeah, but I'd like to thank, who do I got? Vista Supreme, Ridgemark, who else? Everett Mazda, Central Welding, Jay, my wife, Jerry, my sister, Karen, who came up from Arizona to watch this, my brother, Dave, and the whole Fitzpatrick who helps me out whenever I need it. They're awesome, especially Dave Edgar and Sean Fitzpatrick.
Driver the number 85, your guys' third place finisher, Jim Fody. Austin, a lot going on in the rearview mirror over the course of this race. What are you thinking as the driver running second? You hoping for a caution? You hoping that stays green?
No, I don't know. My car was really hot tonight, and I had all eyes forward. Steve and my targets, and just want to do everything I can to get a little closer, try to have a shot at it.
What more do you think you needed to get that shot?
I don't know, just 20 more years of experience and a couple other things.
And who would you like to thank for getting that 69 to second place?
I'd like to thank Steve Potasic. No kidding, right before we go out in the main, he's helping me out, putting a tune in my car. It's one of the coolest things about this. The guys that you're competing against, point for point, bumper for bumper, and they'll be out there to help you anytime you can.
Driver the number 69, second place tonight, Austin Camp. All right, Steve, another dominant night behind the wheel at 06. However, there at the end, 69 starting to get a little close. How are you feeling about that?
Well, you know, cat and mouse. Don't want to burn it down and save your tires, kind of. It wasn't good earlier at all. I even talked to you about it. You know, we just made the right choices. It was good. I got to thank Lane up in the spotter box. Keep me calm, because otherwise we get a little wound up out there. Me and Jim got together. That was a little exciting. But other than that, thanks to Lang Autosports, and thanks for everybody coming out.
Great performance as always. Your race winner tonight, driver of the 06, Steve Potasic.
Home Track Heroes continues here on Seattle 11. Stoked to have you guys in with us again. And one of our favorite divisions between Ben Hyman and myself, Caleb Hart. We love watching the Hornets. Hornets today on a very unique racetrack that we've only seen them run a couple of times. So,
Correct.
Ben, let's put them on the Dyno Embryo is what we have been told to call it, for 25 laps today. On the pole for the PRCBD Hornet 8 main events, Bryson Wingfield, the 65 out of Monroe, sponsored by his papa, Tony Hill. It's the 45 of Trinity Reppin out of Snohomish, sponsored by Reppin Welding and Rail. Second row, Dempsey Graham, the 132 from Duval, LAF Tech, sponsor on that car. And the 2-car, Jason Karenberg from Cedar Woolley, sponsored by Yeti Racing.
Row 3, we'll see the 022 of Michael Turner of Monroe, sponsored by Full Throttle Graphics. The 05 is Jacob Shemansky out of Sammamish. On to row 4, the G2 is Brad Gruhl, the SD's heating and cooling machine. Alongside the 03, one half of the most dangerous names in racing, Lucas House and Fluck is out of Granite Falls and sponsored by Cornerstone Homes.
Our 5th row, Trent Gillespie, the 025 from Granite Falls, sponsored by Full Throttle Graphics. To his outside is the 15, Matt Snyder, out of Snohomish, sponsored by Handy in the Valley. 67, Zachary Dixon out of Marysville, the color specialist, premium quality car paint service. And the 263 of Dan Tungle out of Lake Stevens, Blue Skies Electric sponsors that car.
The 01 pause, Tanner Bjornson out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing. Alongside, well, we lost the 25 of Stephen Dodson of Arlington, sponsored by Sky Power Wash right at the start. That's where he would start if out there. The 77 is Christian Miller out of Everett, sponsored by Turbo Espresso. And the 16 starts alongside him. That's Peyton Hopp out of Snohomish, sponsored by the Cut Shop in Woodinville.
9th row to the inside, Gino Solomon, the 17S. He's out of North Bend, sponsored by Valley Asphalt. To his outside, it is the 00 Dan Miller out of Everett Exterior Wall Systems, primary sponsor of that car. The quick row behind them, it's Damon Claiborne in the 43 out of Snohomish. Kia of Everett sponsors him. And the reigning track champion, the 1 junior, Zach Bristol out of Snohomish, sponsored by Hibbs Automotive.
The 024 Donna Gillespie is out of Salem, Oregon, sponsored by Waltz Woodco. Starting alongside the 30 of Pat Folger. And then the 19 Scarlett Fisher out of Marysville, sponsored by GN Northwest, rounds out the field, Caleb.
23 cars, 24 laps, a very unique course. Of course, our program is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. 25 laps here around Dyno Embryo. You'll see them, and that's a real speed portion of the course that they're just coming through, to the point where you're going to see some of the drivers maybe even get the wheels in the air, depending on how much momentum they carry off that portion.
This would be a good course for the drivers to leave the tire magnets at home as they come across the white line and come towards the green flag. There's a lot of high speed in this course. So last time we ran this thing, some of these drivers told me they got up over 100 miles an hour around that 5/8 oval arc. So it's about to be a good one tonight. Bryson Wingfield's going to be the quick into the Devil's left-hander. This very sharp, tight hairpin onto the 5/8 oval. And you can see all of them stacking up like 2010 Black Friday shoppers trying to make their way fit in through that doorway.
And what were they shopping for? Answer: more race car parts, because that's what you need here at the PRCBD Hornets. And that's that portion I was talking to you about. You see there's a slight elevation change when you come from the back straightaway on the 5/8 into that access road to curve down and through. I thought Wingfield was going around on lap number 1, but he has got the lead, repping right there. There's the second time I thought Wingfield was going around. And sitting in third for the time being is Dempsey Graham. One thing is for certain, and again, given the tight corners in this course, there will be physicality through this main.
Oh, 100%. Bryson Wingfield, one of our Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornet graduates, just coming from last year, ran Youth Hornets, now running the Hornets, and that 65, showing he learns a thing or two in that 1/5 mile course, leading the way from Reppin and Dempsey Graham. Drone shot. Oh, Wingfield gets loose a little bit, but able to hang on to it. Look at that shot as they come across the access road.
Very cool. And again, thank you, Dave, and Elevate Racing Media on that one. Wingfield's got the lead. He's stretched it a bit over Reppin. However, this has been the questionable portion of the course for Wingfield. A little more controlled that time as you look at the grandstand shot. He'll lead over Reppin, some distance between the two of them before Graham Turner and Brad Gruhl back into his own G2 this week.
Yeah, Brad Gruhl had a sub driver last time out, and he already has a win under his belt in that G2 this year, looking to move his way forward behind Turner right now. Then that's Trent Gillespie in the 025. Behind Gruhl right now as we settle in. This is such a, oh, here comes House and Flug. Oh, Matt Snyder kept it off the one lone section of wall.
Can he get refired? Yes, he can. And every time that happens, we say a little silent thank you because the race stays under green flag conditions and we don't have to restack everybody back up.
And we appreciate you, Matt Snyder.
Yes. Out front, been a good battle. Wingfield and Reppin showing some smoke. Not sure if that was tire on the wheel well smoke or what it is, but Trinity Reppin smoking up a storm at least during that portion of the course. Looks okay now from the back bumper of the Wingfield car on the Brady Hood promotion shot, as Bryson trying to put some pad between himself and Trinity Reppin.
Yeah, Wingfield, I like the rear bumper shot. As you can see, Reppin trying to get to Bryson Wingfield, but Wingfield's doing a good job setting the pace early. And that is one thing we talk about this normally with the Hornet classes. 25 laps, and it's a road course, typically a little bit longer, but these drivers, there's plenty of time. So you've seen your Claibornes, your Bristols, and your Millers they all start at the back. They have lots of time to make their way forward. So these drivers who get to start up front, good job so far, but there's a lot of race left to go.
Michael Turner is on the move in the 022 as we thank PRCBD. Swing by PRCBD in Arlington for all your CBD questions or needs for people, pets, and more. Go to prcbd.com and use the promo code RACE, that's RACE. Use the promo code RACE at PRCBD.
Damon Claiborne there, as well as Gino Solomon. There's Zach Bristol, Karenberg, and Dixon. We're watching the cars come through the transfer in onto the access road up over that hump. It's really a big braking section. We saw kind of how that can be kind of a little bit dangerous last time we ran this. Both Legends and Hornets taking to this course. Kyle Lang, and a Legend, had experienced some brake issues and met those tire barriers off that back straight. And you got to be careful when you're taking that speed. A lot of tires there. Like I said, leave the tire magnets at home. But a lot of tires here for these drivers as they have to come through that transfer section.
Let's watch it because we're going to get this view on it. You can see that car just go bottom right there as they go from the 5/8 onto the access road. They have that similar, a little more downhill at the end of it from the access road onto the 3/8. So it's an opportunity. You can carry a lot of speed, but boy, it's a really good opportunity for your car to get upset if you don't handle it correctly.
Oh, absolutely. You have to be really careful. You see how big this course is. Bryson Wingfield's already heading back towards the 5/8, and we got our last core off the 5/8 at that same time. So this is a big course. Lots of times Turner sends it in deep down the inside around Reppin. Michael Turner in the Ka-chow machine up in a second.
Michael Turner's got some speed here as leaving Reppin, and Reppin showed that same smoke in through that middle portion of the course. That is allowing another driver to close on up in. Is that the 025 of Gillespie? I believe it is.
That is the 025 of Trent Gillespie making the way up right now. So far you can see well, it's a little tough to see the little orange 5
we're gonna need to get him a better 5. Trent, buddy, I know you can afford a 5. Do it.
Peyton Hopp has been our quick mover, and I say that he gets a handful of Hornets coming through that section. Dan Tungel's made his way through, and Christian Miller, Damon Claiborne all alongside Hopp, and Brad Gruhl's in that battle is getting close to the outside wall there. But now they'll settle in here. I think this is the battle between 6th and back right now.
I'm going to go with it.
All right.
So Tungle, beep coming through. That's all right. It happens. It's Hornet racing. We said it was going to get a little physical at times.
Absolutely. As we look towards the front here, it looks like Michael Turner has made the pass around Bryson Wingfield. The 022, your new leader, with 17 to go.
Only 8 laps into this, I had to correct myself. I'm like, approaching halfway, but no, not quite. As a big course, so we shortened up the laps by 5 under their normal count. Reppin in third, and boy, they're getting all over this racetrack. There's Peyton Hopp saying, door works as a barrier for me. I'll drive underneath and through as he's got a run now on Gillespie. See how much Peyton wants to lean on Trent Gillespie. Coming in and through, and Gillespie full send into the tire barrier. Trent Gillespie meet tire. Tire wins.
And Trent Gillespie, like a gazelle, injured in the Serengeti, making his way through the grass back towards his pit stall. Look how far those tires flew when Gillespie just got loose. And
I mean, I thought that the hood looked a little clubbernated before this happened. Here's from Tungle's point of view, and ooh, yeah, race car parts for everybody. Here from Peyton Hopp, look out. Oh, debris flying everywhere.
Dempsey Graham had to get hard on the brakes to stay out of the tires himself, and Trent Gillespie, hearts go out. That's a big hit.
That's sounding like McGuire taking Randy Long off the Kingdom wall back in the day. Just shotgun blast on the tire barrier. Big time. All right, stack the field back up. We're still 8 laps in and 17 to go. Michael Turner has got the top spot. Bryson Wingfield will start right next to him. Trinity Reppin has got the 3rd position and hanging out on the outside. I believe our 132 car is still hanging tough, and that is Dempsey Graham.
And Dempsey Graham just got into a little contact with Peyton Hopp right as you were saying that. Peyton Hopp giving us a partial Bleem impression there with the bumper hanging off, not fully dragging it yet behind, so we can't call it a full bill Bleem just yet.
Oh, Michael Turner.
Oh!
Look at Dan. Didn't exactly take that corner the way that you would hope to.
No, but he stops up, so I think he'll avoid any kind of maybe warning or
penalty
there. He's self-penalized.
All right, good enough. He's got a lot of laps left to try to make his way back forward. His caution flag is going to come out. It is Donna Gillespie's turn to bring out the yellow.
Not sure what happened here with the 024. Let's take a look towards back contact with Dixon. Uke tire hit. Caleb, I know you like those.
It's just a matter of time before the poor innocent Uke tire got the wrong end of it here on this course. Let's take a look, and you're side by side going through this first portion. I'm surprised there hasn't been more chaos in this tight left to right hand weight transfer portion. Matt Snyder just sneaking through. Here's Gillespie's point of view. Oops, double oops.
It looks like maybe some contact with Dixon there, but just a big stack up. That's a tough part of the section. Some of these drivers have talked about the last time we ran this course. That is a tough section to navigate, especially when they're bunched up like that.
Yeah, and think about it as you get that full lap in. Normally you're bringing that with more momentum and more speed into it. So, again, these are very basic race cars. You're not allowed to do a whole lot with them in terms of modifications or aftermarket parts on them. So getting them to handle just the right way you want to do it, especially when you're carrying speed and having to go left, right, left so quickly, what you have to do in that portion.
Yeah, and these drivers, they only get to practice and qualify. Oh, Dempsey Graham came sliding in. Damon Claiborne behind him. Oh, Reppin Hopp. There's the full Bill Bleem impression now with Peyton Hopp. I knew we'd get there eventually once that bumper cover got a little exposed. Trinity Reppin also rounded towards the back. A lot of stack-up contact there. Again, it's the devil's left-hander. It has a nickname for a reason.
It's quite the left-hand turn here on this Dyno Embryo course. I'll look back a little further in the field. Well, not too much further in the field. Christian Miller's made his way up into the top 10 now. Everybody who has a whoopsie like that ends up out there. And Damon Claiborne's third. Holy cow.
Here comes Fred Flintstone himself. Damon Claiborne is quickly piloting that 43. The success that Damon Claiborne has been having this year is, I think he's having a great start of the year in both Hornets and Stinger racing. Damon Claiborne's collected himself a handful of podiums to open this year, and I'm sure that 43 is happy with so far how the year's been going. And I'm finding wood to knock on for you, Damon. And
well, you're not supposed to turn right there, but Michael Turner did. So Turner, your race leader, going off racetrack, hands the lead to Dempsey Graham, who loses it to Damon Claiborne. Everything's happening. We've got chaos more coming up next. It has been a fun Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11 already. I'm Caleb Hart, he's Ben Iman, and you are knee-deep here in the PRCBD Hornet main event. 14 laps to go here on the Dyno Embryo track. Kind of a new, unfamiliar track-ish to a lot of these drivers. And Ben, we have had a a tangle a time or two up in the top 3 with Dan Tungle running 3rd, Dempsey Graham 2nd, Damon Claiborne took the lead right before we went to break.
Yeah, Damon Claiborne wheeling his Kia to the lead. Oh, Tungle in the quad box. Tungle meet tires. Oh, that definitely is not a tongue twister.
And Bristol hanging out in tire as well, as, yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, that's not something we've seen a lot of for Zach Bristol. He's had an incredible run of luck that I am sure I am helping end accidentally tonight, but that's a tough break there. Christian Miller's going to inherit 2nd place from that Hornets Nest Racing team.
And give Damon Claiborne a whole lot of room where he can just kind of cruise at his behest here. He got through the pack faster than anybody, so might be that Damon's got all the right stuff here tonight. A little bit further back in the field, that's Graham. Dempsey Graham in the 132 is 3rd. Gino Solomon, the veteran in the 17S, running him down and looking for room underneath him. They're on the 3/8 mile track right now, the 3rd and 4th corner of it. Get a lot of speed coming up there. Here comes Solomon to the inside.
Ooh.
They're going to trade some paint as they come in through the turns, and Gino takes the position away.
Yeah, good run there for Gino Solomon. Brad Gruhl with a little bit of contact, too, with the 132 of Graham. We'll see if there's anything more to come here. Will Brad Gruhl send it into the Devil's left-hander? No, he'll just settle in, follow through. Matt Snyder is followed up, coming a little further back there. So 2 Snyder cars running within inside the top 10.
That's part of it, is that this is a track where you've got an abundance of opportunity to pass. You do not have to be, there's a lot of passing zones. You don't have to be ultra aggressive here. You can wait. If you've got a better car, there's a lot of places where you can show that speed off. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing, as, oh, Dan Tungle says, you tire, I don't like you, smash. As we're gonna see how that went down again, the 263 into the Devil's left-hander and into Reppin. So starting with some contact into the rumble strips, through the puddle that's off there. Some water just kind of accumulates and got onto the rear tires and right into that Uke tire with authority.
Oh, Dan, that was a hard hit. You can see there's a lot of contact here ahead of time between both Reppin and Dan Tungle. See into the grass here. Looks like try to get everyone back out. Maybe just a tad bit here. Yeah, Tungle gets loosened.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Trinity, you saw her grabbing for gears to try to shift down. All right, so Tungle, there's the initial contact, right? So those are rumble strips right there. And then you get into this water, and there's that puddle where the drainage runs down. And gravity is the thing, it accumulates, and then, wow. Yeah.
I have not seen a Uke tire move like that, Caleb.
Well, thank you to Brandy for getting the in-car video on that one. There's a second. Look how much, wow, the velocity that it took to get that tire up in the air, and the amount of, like, you look at all that water that accumulates in the tire too, that it just adds to the heaviness and how hard you have to hit that to get that thing moving. My goodness gracious. Well, we'll think happy thoughts for Dan Tungle, as that race car has seen way better days, and that'll bunch up the field now with 12 to go. Holy cow.
Yeah, holy cow indeed. Looks like we're going to get restarted here. Christian Miller and Damon Claiborne on the front row. Solomon and Graham row 2. Claiborne wanted maybe that outside here to get the inside into this run here, and he clears up into the lead.
So he will have the early advantage once we get back to green. It's Miller and Solomon working into this it's not as sharp a left depending on how the angle you take on it. The problem is you're running up onto the banked 5/8 there, and if you don't get that car rotated, wall comes up really quick.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be able to get that car around, but you got to get slowed down. And when you're battling, when there's like 5, 6 other Hornets around you there, you don't really have maybe the ideal braking zone that you'd prefer, because you might get bumped from behind or from the side.
You really have 2 paths to take it that hard left, the Devil's left-hander. If you take it sharp, that does mean you get to come further inside on the racetrack and keep guys from darting underneath you, not taking the long path up and around, but the wider, the smoother you take that corner, the more speed you can carry through it. The bigger a run you can get down the back straightaway. So just whichever strategy suits you best. As Christian Miller, you can see the strategy he's taking to try to keep Damon Claiborne, I don't know, somewhere in the zip code, somewhere in the area code.
Yeah, Damon Claiborne has been up and away for most of this race. The Turbo Espresso 77 trying to run him down here, and Gino Solomon whipping his Valley Asphalt 17S behind them. Oh, sparks flying out of the 17S, maybe bottoming out a little bit there.
Which would be weird unless something is broken. I mean, you can't have, well, okay, you can have a tire that loses air. You could have a spring. It's hard for a spring to just go that soft during the course of a race, but weird things can happen. It's just an oddball that we start dragging later on in the race, unless there's a piece that's broken off of it, as Brad Gruel had to jam on the binders to try to keep from running in Dempsey Graham, and Graham's going to have the position over him.
Getting a lot more sparks. Is Gino Solomon dragging something, maybe, Caleb? Is something come loose from the rear of that car?
Muffler could have broke loose, maybe? Just another idea. From where it is, it's kind of centralized underneath it. Let's look. As he curls in and around, it's in the general area where, like, maybe it's a pipe dragging or something like that. It doesn't appear to really be hurting his speed right now, but the question is, you can't allow sparks on the racetrack for too long. I'm wondering if the officials are going to say, that's dangerous.
Yeah, we will see what happens here for Gino Solomon. If either way, it'll be a tough break. Christian Miller's doing a good job keeping Damon Claiborne within sight line, and with the sun setting there, beautiful shot. Makes the race course maybe a little bit tougher for these drivers to see. We look towards the other side here. Peyton Hopp is closing on Matt Snyder. Good run there for the cut shop.
Yeah, these drivers have come out at a strange time. They were in daylight and it's transitioning to nighttime, so if they didn't have their clear visor on, if they had something tinted, the visuals could be a bit hard at this point in time. Well, right now, you would bet on Damon Claiborne to be the favorite to take this win. If you wanted to do some sports betting, you can do it up at Angel of the Winds Casino. They've got sports betting up there right next to the 210 Brewing Company. Think you can pick a winner, prove it at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, the only home for sports betting north of Seattle. Exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington. A look now, great shot. That is the transition zone from the access road between the 5/8s and the 3/8s with 8 laps to go. The Damon Claiborne show continues. Very strong start to 2025 for him. Miller and Solomon 2 and 3. We'll look further back. Dempsey Graham, the 132, running 6th. That's Lucas Hausenfluck in the 03. Trying to sneak around him for position.
Yeah, Damon Claiborne, you know, that Kia of Everett machine is off to the races, it looks like. Not
is it a Kia?
I don't know that the car is a Kia, but he's sponsored by Kia Everett. And
well, we may as well say it's
he has a nice little Kia sticker like up on the dash, so I'm just calling it a Kia. Can it be one of those Kias that those hamsters used to drive?
Hamsters drove Kias?
You don't remember that whole advertising campaign with the hamsters?
In what multiverse are you living on this one?
You don't know what I'm talking about? I think Caleb Hart might be in the dark on this one.
I might be in the minority on this one, which is fine. I've been wrong before. It just doesn't happen more than once a year.
Fans of the show can find their way over towards the Evergreen Speedway social media pages and comment about the hamsters in the Kia cars from this. And they can prove Caleb Hart wrong. Tag him in those posts.
Maybe that's the promo this week, as you look at Christian Miller working his way in through the access road. Christian in the 77. There is battle between Snyder and Hopp. Hopp back into that car got really damaged early on, but hasn't affected too much of his drive as he's been able to keep the rear bumper cover at least intact for now. He's sneaking, he's looking, he's just trying to find a spot. Snyder is running a really good tactical race. See Hopp kind of lining up the move, trying to work his way by into the left-hander. They'll take a similar line there. Hopp going to come high and try to carry some more speed off it, but sure looks like Snyder got away.
And while this battle has been ensuing, Caleb, I think we've lost Gino Solomon. I think that dragging ended up being too much for the race officials. So that's a battle now for the final podium spot between Snyder and Hopp.
Yeah, I think I had kind of said that. The problem is if it's just a once-in-a-while ground out and spark, you're fine, right? But a constant spark, if anybody has like an oil leak or anything like that going on the track, and you're hoping not, but that thing can ignite it and cause additional issues, especially with consistency on that. So tough for Gino, but that happens. Not the first time it's happened, it won't be the last.
Won't be, as they say, Dems to breaks. Damon Claiborne running away from Christian Miller. Good gap there. Our best battle, Matt Snyder, Peyton Hopp. We're on board with Peyton Hopp, the cut shop of Woodinville 16, trying to run down the 15 machine here in the closing embers of this race.
Let's see if you can get an idea of what the speed looks like as you're coming through that section that joins the two racetracks. And you can see, I mean, it is all gas, no brakes for Peyton Hoppin through there as he tries to get closer to Snyder. Snyder eyeing up a podium finish, but right now Peyton Hopp is closing in enough to might be in a position to take it away from him, depending.
Whoa!
Yeah, how physically he wants to race the closing laps. Dan Miller is trying to circle his way up and by Hausenfluck, and he is going to have it if he makes a good left-hand turn here, and he will. So Dan Miller with a nice pass, clean from the veteran, as he'll work up into the top 5.
A good move there for Dan Miller. Right now, this is still a good battle here. A little further back, Bristol still coming, Gruel still coming. But right now, not enough time, I think, for those drivers to make their way into the top 5s. I think Damon Claiborne and Christian Miller, pending anything coming out from the flag stand, are going to sit pretty happy right now. But Matt Snyder still got his work cut out from him for Peyton Hopp.
So think about it here. He'll have one on the Dyno Embryo. He'll have one in the Stinger 8s. He has another Hornet win on the year, doesn't Claiborne?
I know he's had at least another Hornet podium. I don't think he's had a...
All right.
I don't know.
No, second different course that he's won in and second different division here at the start of 2025. So month into the season and trophies racking up for Claiborne as he will come to the white flag here in a matter of mere seconds.
Yeah, I think this has definitely been the start of the year that Damon Claiborne had been hoping for. Had some issues off and on last season. We didn't get to see the 43 for a good chunk of time, but you can see here's Dan Miller, Zach Bristol. Bristol involved in an incident earlier. What could have happened if that car had a full clean run to try to get from the back to the front?
Well, yeah, you just never know. Unfortunately for Zach, he has been pretty good at missing accidents like that. The racer's luck had to change at some point in time. It swings one way, it'll swing the other. As Claiborne in through the access road one more time off the 5/8s into the 3/8s. Nobody close to him as he wins this running away. PRCB Hornet main event win to Damon Claiborne. Bust out the sundial while you wait for second place to come in and through. Christian Miller with a very good run into of its own. Just nobody had anything for Damon here today as he takes second. And for third, we'll give it to Matt Snyder. We'll talk to him down in the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
All right, Matt, that was a true back-to-front race for you. Contact early, had to make your way through the field. When you get in an incident like that early, what's your headset when you get? Do you just put your head down and be like, all right, got to get back up there? Or is there more to it?
Yeah, I just was picking one car off at a time. I knew I had some laps to get up there, but it was tough coming from the back, especially on a big course like this.
Yeah, big course. You guys carry a lot of speed off that oval into the in the little transfer back to the 3/8s. Talk about where's the hairiest part of the course for you?
Probably right here at the beginning, right where you're making that sharp turn. That's pretty rough.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight?
I'd like to thank Handy Asphalt. They're my hood sponsor. Valley Asphalt, Harry Inc., Snow Falls Credit Union, Snoqualmie Valley Bus Drivers, SC. I think that's it.
All right, well, give it a third place, Matt Snyder. All right, Christian, great run tonight, second place. So quite the gap there. What more did you think you needed to get to Damon?
To be Damon, that guy is so talented. I mean, he puts in the work and it pays off every time.
Yeah, it's again kind of a choppy race, but how much fun for you is to run that big Raptor Claw course?
It was a lot of fun in the main when I got in front. In the heat race, I wasn't so sure about it. It gets really stacked up into that first turn. I got wrecked last weekend, so I was a little scared that was going to happen again, but, I got lucky this time.
Who do you want to thank for helping to get out here to second place tonight?
I want to thank Damon Claiborne. I mean, he is such a huge part of this team. He helped me build this car. If it wasn't for him, this car would not be on rails like it is. So I want to thank him. I want to thank Turbo Espresso, Exterior Wall Systems, Fast Eddie's Tire Pros, and Everett. Let's see. Rick's Mobile AC, Allen Metalworks, Hornets Nest Racing, my dad, Dan Miller, and all the fans for coming out here and Evergreen Speedway for putting on a good show.
Let's give it up. Second place, Christian Miller. Damon, the Hornets run a multitude of classes, and finally the big one came out for the year. Talk about just how tough that course is.
To me, it's not tough. I really love that course. It's just a short enduro course, and an enduro course is just an autocross course, so I've got a lot of experience running on them. I love those tracks where we have a lot of changes of direction, and it really plays into my car too. I have a really well handling car. It's a little lower horsepower, so running a track where we got all these different change of directions really plays into that car's hands. So yeah, love that track. I thought we were going to run it last weekend. They were setting the tires up, and I was really excited because I hadn't gotten to run it yet. So I was pretty happy when it came up this weekend to run.
Yeah, that race, a little choppy, had a big stoppage there and there. When you come out of a caution, you're in the lead. What is your mindset when you're coming back to green?
Beat the guy in second on the restart. That time it was my buddy Christian Miller, so I knew he was going to run me hard on the restart, but he was going to run me clean. We race each other with a lot of respect, so props to him on his second place finish. And I know Matt came all the way back up to a third, and sounded like it was a photo finish between him and Peyton Hopp. Would have loved to have wiped top three of the podium with the team, but we'll take first, second, and fourth. That's pretty good too.
Who do you want to thank for helping to get out here?
First and foremost, want to thank Kia of Everett. If you're looking for a car or you just need your car service, come see us. We do great work. We sell nice cars. Brandy Hood Promotions does all my vinyl, all my GoPro video. Without her, you wouldn't get to see the awesome stuff we do on YouTube. Thanks GN Northwest, Dan and Christian Miller, the whole Hornets Nest Racing team, and just all you guys for being here tonight. I know it's a little cold, the weather was iffy, but thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Let's give it up, your race winner, Damon Claiborne.
Well, for the first time here on this episode of Home Track Heroes, let's head to the figure 8. Should be a lot of fun with the Buzz Inn Steakhouse. Stinger 8's going to the figure 8. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Ben Iman. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And Ben, Stinger 8's been great all year. Let's take a look at their starting lineup for this one.
They are led out tonight by the 151, Cody Weldon of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC. And the 195 of Devin Jenkins out of Maltby, that's Pacific Northwest Traffic Control aboard his car. Mike Hathaway's in row 2 out of Marysville, sponsored by Reppin Welding and Rails, starting alongside Riley Riddell inside the 20 of Goldmark, sponsored by DL Enterprises.
The third row is Hunter Jenkins. I'd hit that Motorsports sponsors the 85 out of Monroe. Randy Moffitt to his outside out of Everett. B&R Drywall sponsor on the 102. Behind them, Diesel Snyder, Handy in the Valley, sponsoring the 717 out of Cleellum, and the 67X of Kylie Ann Surian out of Snohomish, sponsored by Waltz Wood Company.
The 43, hey, Damon Claiborne's pulling double duty tonight out of Snohomish, sponsored by Kia of Everett, as well as Peyton Hopp in the 16 out of Snohomish, sponsored by the Cut Shop of Woodinville. In our back row, the 10 of Cody Hoops is out of Marysville, the former Stinger champion, sponsored by JBR. He'll start alongside the defending Stinger champion, the 21 of Matt Somerville out of Monroe, sponsored by Airport, Welding, and Muffler.
Oh, full invert for the Stingers. That's a big one. This should be a lot of fun, as they're going to go around, 30 times here around the 8?
I believe 30 times around the most dangerous intersection in the West.
Oh, boy. Could be a bunch of fun. We've already seen Somerville have some success this year. We've seen Claiborne have some success as well, and they've got a long ways to come. If it stays green, this field is going to stretch out, and we'll get a lot of intersection action. Those front two in particular, between Weldon and Jenkins, those guys are definitely not afraid to gas her up through the intersection at all times, no matter how chaotic it can be through there. And yeah,
I'm looking at that front row, and I'm also looking at Hunter Jenkins as a part of Club No Lift. That is intersection all the way, pain or gain, as they will say, and we'll definitely see how that boils out here tonight.
I think that Club No Lift is going to be a young man's club by the most part, because a lot of your veteran drivers do not want it to be clobbering time.
That is fair. I understand that. We're going to look towards that stack of tires where our flagger stands, and the green flag is out Here we go for 30 laps of Stinger 8 Racing.
Jenkins on the inside of the 195 gets the advantage. That is the south pole. It's the southmost portion of the figure 8 course. It is the south pole or the right-hand turns, depending on how you want to say it. Now they are moving their way into the north pole, or the left-hand corners, where Devin Jenkins has got the advantage. Had it. Riley Riddell sneaking his way downstairs and quickly up into the lead. Jenkins 2, and looks like Randy Moffitt to be sitting 3rd.
Well, we've already had a Uke tire hit so far to start this one, and Riley Riddell, not sure where he went.
No, away?
He was leading, now he's not. Randy Moffitt's in the lead as we come around.
No, there he is. Whoa!
Oh,
Hello. Well, I mentioned it's clobbering time. I didn't necessarily think it's clobbering time 1 lap into the race.
I thought we'd lost
goodness.
Riley Riddell off the course. Turns out he was just so far ahead and ended up hurting himself in the back round. He was so far ahead that he met Hunter Jenkins in the intersection.
Club No Lift is Club, man, repair my race car, as the front of Jenkins and the back of Riddell are now in pieces. Thump.
Oh, I think I like that shot. Oh my goodness, Riley Riddell sent into a tailspin going through the mom's washing machine there through the intersection.
So truly, you are correct. Randy Moffitt is your leader.
I disappeared. Riley was so far ahead that I thought maybe he exited for the pits, and he did now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Pits are definitely a thing. So Moffitt now sits in front, 2 laps in, and Cody Hoops, who was on the back row, is now inside with, Diesel Snyder, who is outside, I believe?
I believe that to be correct. Damon Claiborne's also made his way up here. Green flag Delaware-style restart here.
Yeah,
for what's left of the Stingers.
Yeah, the back is now the front. The front is now the back. As Snyder gonna lean on Hoops and take P2 away. Randy Moffitt, who has the world's largest head. I don't know if you knew that.
I don't know that.
When we were fitting him for a helmet, we had to go extra large and then extra large. And then it's like, wow, do they have like a bucket that works? Or Randy's a good guy. He'll appreciate my teasing. Either that or he'll come punch me in the face.
Well, either way, Caleb is prepared for the outcome as Diesel Snyder giving him the bump and run. And Diesel Snyder up in the lead. Randy Moffitt maybe also could pick up a pair of gloves when he comes to punch you in the face, Caleb.
That's an idea. Given the gravitational pull of his head, it's going to be hard to move him out of the way. But he is racing hard for second with Hoops. Hoops down on the inside. They're going door panel to door panel, and you don't want to be on the outside of the North Pole. It's a bad situation when the guy's got some speed. Randy's got to rally back to the inside here and force Claiborne wide.
Outside of the North Pole, got to be freezing.
Well done. Claiborne's got the preferred line, though, inside. He'll nose ahead and bring Somerville with him. So Claiborne and Somerville working their way forward. That's 3rd and 4th now between the 2 of them. Snyder, Hoops, Claiborne. Somerville has been so good here recently with all the major race wins in the title. See if he can get by, and he's going to use the intersection to his advantage. Damon hiccuped the throttle just long enough, and Matt said, bye-bye.
Sometimes it's easiest for me to compare Stinger 8 racing to bike racing. And when I say bike racing, I mean like Tour de France.
Okay.
In the sense that when they come to the sprint finish in bike racing, it is oftentimes easier to be the guy in second than it is to be the guy in first. You can pick your path, you can kind of hang on, decide when you're going to go, and the leader just has to respond. So I've noticed with some of these Stingers, and when they come through the intersection, it's easier to be the guy following someone in a position battle into the intersection and let them have to break up for a car slurring through, and you get to make that jump. That's maybe a strange connection that maybe 13 fans of the show will understand, but I'll put that out.
Well, there's only 13 Americans that watch the Tour de France, so I think your ratio is probably going to be questionable at best. Your race leader, Diesel Snyder, is up on the back of Mike Hathaway. Look, oh, bad timing. 46 gets wiggly, but settles it down. Snyder will get around him. Oh, we've got big old smoke coming. That's Surian. That's Surian in the original 67, yes. And that is what's going to bring us to a caution flag. So Kylie Ann, problems in the OG 67, complete with underglow. And let's watch and see if we can figure out what it was.
Cody Hoops doing a good job to drive through that and not claim the back of the 67.
Yeah, 007 smoke show there from Surrey and is, I don't know, fogging for skeeters on a May evening. Either way, we'll stack this field back up. It's been a good race. We've seen a lot of movement within your top 5. Diesel Snyder's got the top spot now. Hoops and Somerville in the row behind him. That is dynamic drivers and cars trailing around Snyder. He's got his work cut out.
Well, Diesel, rookie year for the Stingers here, has his work cut out for him. But Diesel showed, he might be the new dog in this fight, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have the skills to take home the win. Diesel's definitely shown he has what it takes to be a quality Stinger 8 driver. And I'm sure, Cody and Somerville are going to throw everything they've got at him. Maybe Damon Claiborne gets in this battle. We'll see how this ensues. 20 laps to go at the line.
Claiborne trying to snag third back from Somerville. He's got the preferred line here as they work into the right-hand corners. And neither of these guys afraid to use the race car to bump and run when necessary. That's what just happened as Claiborne back by Somerville. Peyton Hopp getting froggy and feeling like he wants to hop into the conversation as well. As we are 11 in, 19 to go. James, time for us to thank the Buzz Inn Steakhouse, who is our sponsor here of the Stinger 8 division and sponsor of the segment. Buzz Inn Steakhouse serving hand-cut Angus steaks breakfast all day and mouth-watering burgers. Visit one of their 13 locations. Buzz Inn Steakhouse, proud sponsor of the Stinger 8 division.
All right, Caleb, what Buzz Inn Steakhouse food item is this Stinger 8 race reminding you of?
This is reminding me of a New York. It is classic. We have seen a lot of the trademarks that come through for Hornet racing, and frankly, when you go to the Buzz Inn Steakhouse and get in New York, you know what you're getting. It's just going to be tasty, melt in your mouth, delicious flavor.
I love
just
it.
like the Stinger 8 main event every time.
Oh, Cody Hoops.
Hello.
Almost the rear end of Cody Hoops almost met the front end of it. I believe that was a Jenkins car. I love the drone shots with the intersection. We can see, there's Jenkins. Club No Lift. Definitely partying like it's 2006 in Amsterdam. Jenkins is trying to make his way back up into this field after some contact earlier. Avoid Somerville there.
As you watch Somerville, the in-car camera, he is right there on Claiborne, but Claiborne is not offering him opportunity to sneak to the inside of him on either of these corners. He is hugging that white line quite nicely, playing a good defensive driving opportunity. Speaking of which, Diesel Snyder is doing a great job with former Trek champion Cody Hoops in and behind him. Snyder, no panic in the 717. He has been very good so far, despite that big old cow catcher front bumper on the Hoops car, giving him the love tap here or there in each corner. Snyder has been up to the task. Hoops trying to figure out the path to get by him.
Yeah, these drivers racing each other, I'd say, cleanly when it comes down to the figure 8 racing. Figure 8 racing, you're going to see a little bit maybe more of the bump and run, maybe a little bit of the tags here and there and the love taps, as you mentioned. But racing each other, giving each other space. Snyder, had to slow up to avoid Weldon there in the intersection. We talked about Diesel. Snyder was, his application is pending for Club No Lift. My understanding. He told us that he has plans. He's just going to shoot it for the intersection every time. But like a smart driver there in the leadership, when you're smart when you're leading there, did not break up or had to break up and didn't want to get claimed by Cody Weldon.
Your front pack is closing in on slower traffic up and ahead of them. Is that the 195 of Jenkins? It is. And this is going to force your race leader to the outside here in the South Pole, but he's going to pull it off. Hoops could not make the move past Snyder.
Damon Claiborne, it looked like, was giving Hoops a little bit of bumper. Maybe Hoops now just gives Jenkins just a little shove, maybe get out of the way of the racing lead.
Front pack has made their way around Jenkins' 195 car, and that's allowed Somerville and Claiborne to catch up to the point where Somerville's got to move on Claiborne in and behind. You saw that in the in-car cam. We go back to your battle up front. Single-digit laps left to go, 9 to go for Snyder and Hoops, who are really getting after it for the win.
Yeah, this is a good battle between Diesel Snyder, and if he can hold on for these 9 laps, I think this would be a monumental first Stinger victory for the 717 if he brings this thing home. And I saw a flash of something there at the bottom of the screen. Did maybe something come off a car?
Ovaltine.
Okay.
Yeah, just people splashing it up all over the place, I'm sure.
Oh, we got some cars.
Look out,
Halfway
and Hoff.
That is not the place to be stopped up.
Nope. Caution flag out and onto the racetrack. Get a look from the drone here real fast. What's going on in the intersection? No replay on that, so we'll have to get them back up and together, and this has been really good, but now Diesel Snyder is again going to have a row of Somerville and Hoops doubled up right behind him on the Delaware style restart. If you got nerves at all, they'd be showing in the kid right here.
A quad box for the restart, Delaware style restart. So Diesel Snyder will have that handy in the Valley 717 up front. The restart will be all his.
All right. Snyder brings us to green, Hoops and Somerville. Door panel to door panel. Hoops surges his way underneath, and there goes Claiborne. Damon knows, all these drivers know, when you have a path, somebody kind of plowing the way through, you tuck in and follow. So Damon gets back to third. That top four, it's changed a couple of times, but it's been the same participants in it the whole way. Now we watch and see if Cody can find the right combination to unlock the mystery that has been Diesel Snyder in front of this field.
Yeah, the 717 has been dialed in all day. Cody Hoops has been able to get to the back bumper, but nothing more really so far. Claiborne has reestablished himself in third. Peyton Hopp up in this battle now. He currently sits, I think that's fifth, looking to close the gap into the top four. Hoops gives a little bit of a shove here. Here we go.
Timing on that was just right for Hoops. He laid the chrome horn to him. Coming into the apex of the corner, Diesel pushed wide. Now Diesel's gonna push Hoops way wide coming off the corner, and that is figure 8 101 for Diesel Snyder. But again, he sailed it too far in, going into the South Pole. Hoops has got another chance. Can Snyder rebound? He knows he's got to lean on him the long way around and clear him getting back, and he does. Again, he clears him. Got to settle the car down.
Another shove there from behind from Hoops.
And credit to Hoops. Hoops has had a couple of chances to dump him. He hasn't yet. Oh, evasive driving again in the intersection allows Hoops to get side by side with him. Here's Claiborne for the spot.
Yeah, good battle here side by side. Claiborne coming through the intersection. Diesel Snyder.
Whoa, 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 wipe out.
That, I think, is the official introduction. Welcome to Club No Lift for Diesel Snyder. The 195, Jenkins nabs him in the intersection.
Wow, bang, right through, and Heartbreak City for Diesel Snyder. You can see Hoops gunned her off to the bottom. Snyder kept her in it, and yeah, he wasn't getting any lift from the slower car, who tags him right in the right rear, and I can imagine that Jenkins and Snyders are not going to be trading Christmas cards. Holy cow.
No, at that moment, you can see here from the onboard of Hoops. Hoops went the right way in that situation. Diesel tried to use the speed to get around it, but we'll look at it from Claiborne's angle. Oh, my good golly.
Oh. More coming up after this. We have got a Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8 main event to finish off here on Home Track Heroes. We have had two lead cars wiped out in the intersection here in our Stinger 8 main event, the Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8s here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Ben Iman. Ben, unfortunately, the lead car has not been the place to be here, but we only have 3 laps left for Cody Hoops to try to survive.
Yeah, 3-lap shootout here in the rest of this Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8 race. He's going to have Matt Somerville, Damon Claiborne riding right on his bumper. It's going to be a good run to the finish.
And we say that coming in and through. It had been a really good race out in front in that long segment there. Diesel Snyder had held off Cody Hoops, and that is figure 8 racing sometimes. The intersection does play a factor.
Snyder already back up to 5th here. Good run for the 717. We'll see how that stands. Peyton Hopp trying to go down the inside of Somerville, locks up the brakes. Only 2 laps here to go.
Claiborne and Somerville has been dynamic as well. Hoops getting long away here on the restart. As they come to the white flag, you can see Damon Claiborne having to wrestle the race car in and around, but hangs on to her for there. This is the final intersection pass for the win for Cody Hoops.
Yeah, Hoops, I think, is going to have enough space here. Clears the intersection, I believe, there. Somerville, Claiborne, that's the best battle we're watching. Can Somerville send it down the inside? Cody Hoops sees checkers and claims them. Damon Claiborne will hang on for 2nd, and Matt Somerville a strong 3rd place.
All right, well, we should have an interesting podium. Let's go talk to the drivers. The Angel Woods Casino podium for the Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8s.
Matt, good run tonight. 3rd place. Been a good open to the year so far. Hope everything. How's the season treating you so far?
It's been really good. It's been a lot of fun this year, and I haven't been getting flat tires like last year, so it's been a lot of fun.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get the 21 out here tonight?
I want to first thank all the people racing this class, because from my seat, that was an absolute heck of a show. Everybody up here and the guys in the pits deserve to be up here, because that was insane.
Great run for you guys tonight. Congratulations on third place to the 21, Matt Somerville. All right, Damon, double podium tonight. Been a treat, I guess, a great open years so far tonight. How was that Stinger race for you?
Oh, that was a blast. Always fun when I get to race with Matt and Cody. Diesel was up there with us. We had a really nice 4-car fight for the win there. It was a shame that Diesel ended up getting collected up in that intersection hit. Of course, you brought the caution out. You got to go to the back. Man, really feel for the kid. That was rough. He was driving a really good race. Him and Cody were going back and forth. Matt and I were going back and forth. I'd get ahead of him on the restart, and there was one time he shoved me, got around, and then it was wild. That was a really good race. That's how figure eight racing should be. Little beating and banging, but at the end of the day, we all had respect for each other. Nobody was tearing up each other's equipment, so it was a really good time.
Second place tonight isn't possible without the people behind you. Who's supporting you out here tonight?
Kia of Everett, if you're looking for your car or looking just to have it serviced, come see us. Brandywood Promotions, GN Northwest, Dan and Christian Miller, the whole Hornets Nest racing team, and of course the fans. Thank you for being out here tonight and for giving us all your support. We appreciate it.
Second place, Damon Claiborne. Cody, what a race to come out on top. How's that got to feel for you guys back there in the pits?
It feels good. Too bad Riley got hit. I think he was leading. That's kind of a bummer. Hopefully he's all right and that car's all right, but managed to move up really quickly, passed a lot of cars the first couple laps, and then me and Diesel just going at it. I'd move him out, and he's a fast car. So great race for him. Too bad he got hit, but he's going to win one this year. Just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a great open of the year for you guys so far. What do you guys take to get that 10-car week in, week out?
Had a coolant leak today. New tires every once in a while, and check and tow. It's the fender and the door bar got ripped off last race. Got that back on, but it's fairly low maintenance and a lot of fun. So I'm happy to be out here.
And who do you want to thank for helping to get out here?
My stepdad, Tom Easley, he's always out every week. My wife, Ariel, John Bender, JBR, Dave Riddell, Matt Somerville, and Cascade Auto.
All right, let's give it up. Your race winner, driver of the 10, Cody Hoops.
Well, Cody Hoops gets the win. That was something, although the Stinger 8s usually are. Let's move on. Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late models coming up. 75 laps to go for them. It's a good, talented field of cars here tonight. Naaman Lang has won the first 2 Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late model races of the year. He's on the pole. J&R Trucking 00 out of Linwood. Haley Constant's going to be next to him. Joe's Racing Products sponsors the 78. She is out of Snohomish. Row number 2, it's the trademark RCS 12 of Chad Fitzpatrick, Blake Stevens, and the 70-year track record holder, Dawson Cox from Arlington, sponsored by Dry Crawl Sweepers.
Greg Bennett pilots the 98 out of Seattle, sponsored by Bennett Design and Construction. He'll start alongside last week's podium, Chase Gardner in the 32 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Quality Towing. Jeff Knight in the 70s on row 4 out of the Northwest, sponsored by the legendary Owens Beats in Cleella. He'll start alongside the 12, the Brock Reynolds machine. That's Donnie Wannett.
Final row, a couple of rooks. Brandon Brock out of Stanwood, the Absher build number 94, and the 33 is Kyle Lang out of Snohomish, sponsored by Phillips Law Firm. 75 laps for our third Pro Late Model main event here of 2025. Lang has got both of them so far. Constance looking for her first of the year. As they look at the door panel. Coming off of corner number 4, we're green, and already you can see the back end of the Lang car wiggling its way into turn number 1, but he does have the early lead.
Yeah, Naaman Lang is 2 for 2 to open up this year, looking to go 3 for 3 so far. Haley Constance gets down and will settle in behind the 00 here for third. Dawson Cox trying to get around the outside of the 12C Chad Fitzpatrick and clears him up into third.
Late models here on Home Track Heroes, and our program is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. As you will watch Lang open up a couple of car lengths on Constance. Cox sitting in position number 3 and looking for opportunity to sneak by the 78. All 3 of those cars look like they've got a lot of speed in the early going.
Yeah, lots of speed. We know that this front 4, front 5 can carry a lot of speed. And we've seen actually a lot of these drivers have been so close with each other. The 10th one in qualifying, I think there was 4 or 5 cars that were really separated by only about a 10th or 2 in qualifying. So a lot of speed up here. These cars aren't going, it's going to really, I think, be long run speed over short run.
Finding mechanical advantage is getting harder and harder to do in the Pro Late Model class, as there is Haley looking to the inside on Nema. And those two, they swapped some paint last year. We'll watch and see how this plays out. The gorgeous Joe's chassis, number 78. There's only 2 of those in the entire world, and Haley's got 1 of them at the moment as caution is out. And Brandon Brock, you ever wondered what thousands of dollars looked like going up in smoke? There you go.
Yeah, tough break there. Brandon Brock comes to a big stop, lots of smoke. That can't be cheap.
Yeah, we had heard in our headsets reports of an exploded motor, so oops. Well, let's go quad box style. As Cox in the upper left, Bennett the bottom left, Fitzpatrick the bottom right, and the full field in the upper right, as we'll bring it back to green in just a second.
Good run here, good restart off the line. Haley Constance looks to the outside, Nema Lang. That lower lane is the favorable lane around the 3/8. Dawson Cox might have a run here. Gets the quarter panel now to the door of Haley Constance. Run down the inside. They're side by side in the 3 and 4. Ooh, before sparks flying out of the 17, he has to back out of it.
Well, let's see if he can keep his nose stuck in there, as they are still bound door panel to door panel at the end of the straightaway. Dawson, big run into turn number 1. And down the back straightaway, he has got position number 2. So give Cox the second spot. Speaking of guys, Cox and Nema, like the rivalry between the 2 of them as well. So storylines to follow no matter where you're looking here in this Pro Late Model field, and only 6 laps in, as we have got 3 cars duking it out for 4th. Jeff Knight, who completely tore the car down after the last race, built it back up from new, said he found some things, and we should be looking for a better Jeff Knight performance here on the afternoon. He's trying to use the outside. He's got a pretty good run there on Chad Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick had slipped off this group of 3 here a little bit, and Bennett and Knight coming alive working on that. I know that 17 working hard to get that car back out into a spot that they want it to be. You know, a lot of these drivers had a couple weeks off here in between Evergreen Speedway Pro Late events, and all of them using their time to work on cars, improve their car, take some time off, or run figure 8s if you're Dawson Cox.
Right. Well, Dawson is a man of multiple talents, that we know, as he is keeping Nema well within striking distance early on here. Only 9 laps in, and Nema Lang, the way that it has been so far on the year is that he's come from deep, taking the lead just beyond halfway, and rabbited from there. This, little bit of a different question, is Lang having to work from the front this time. We'll look at Gardner, Wannett, and Lang, Kyle version, making a run at each other. We got to thank Central Welding. Central Welding Supply's mission of excellent service hasn't changed since 1975. Locally owned, larger inventory, and an expert staff makes the difference at 27 locations. Find one near you at centralwelding.com.
Big thanks to Central Welding. Also the Central Welding 125 coming up later this year for the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models, and also driver reunion night.
Ooh, cool shot. Once again, Elevate Media has given us the drone tonight. David doing good work as get a look from up top what these late models look like flying around the 3/8 mile here at Evergreen Speedway. 13 laps into it. Yeah, we continue to see the 7 car of Cox keeping the 00 right there, and the 78 of Constance is right on Dawson in case he makes a mistake.
Dawson, we've seen him bottom out a few times and spit some sparks out. Also can see that rotor glow on the 70 as he's coming alongside. We're going to get that in turn 1 and 2. So that's these drivers pushing their machines hard. Looks like the 70, that's Jeff Knight up into 5th, clears Greg Bennett, and now trying to run down Chad Fitzpatrick, who has kind of run off the back of these 2 and is starting to run almost his own race in between these 2 graphs of cars.
Interesting that you're seeing rotor glow already on the 7D. It's early for that. Now, granted, these guys, some of these drivers, real hard on brakes. 15 laps in for a guy who is the track record holder. But rotor glow this early, and you can see the big shower of sparks that's coming off. I don't know that that's necessarily the best sign. If this was 20 laps from now, okay, I'd get it. But 15 laps in, that's a little soon.
Yeah, Dawson has had some great luck go his way in qualifying times. Now our track record holder, and also has had some unfortunate luck when it's come to the main events. So I think just trying to put in a good shift tonight, I'm sure the 70 would be happy running anywhere with inside these top 3.
Last time they were out, it was him and Jeff Knight amongst the other cars who were involved in a very early accident, so seat time was at a minimum for those guys. Still a couple of car lengths separating Lang. Ooh, nice save, Jeff Knight. Look out, Greg Bennett sneaking up and around. But Knight now will have Bennett trying to chase back down as he had to gather back up the 70 car. And here comes Chase Gardner.
Yeah, a little bit of contact here. Now we're also checking out the 78 Haley Constance, trying to close in on the 70 of Dawson Cox. This is, again, 1, 2, 3, and these have been 3 of the 4 or 5 favorites all season long. You see Chad Fitzpatrick starting to show up in this picture, and now we've got some of the top 4, I'd say, drivers we've seen speed-wise run in 1, 2, 3, 4 in the order in which you may choose.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick made up a lot of ground on that front pack because it was two distinct packs. Chad was back a little bit. He has soaked up the difference between himself and Haley. Not to where he's right on their rear bumper cover, but getting close enough. So Chad pedaling in the 12 car, trying to find his way closer to the front of the field. So we're now 21, make it 22 laps into the main event. Cox with Constance still right there, making life difficult on him. But Dawson's been up to the task so far. Haley not using the nose of the race car to move him around much, but trying to take some air off the back of it, and has a run to the inside of Dawson Cox, making her way down the back straightaway. Can Cox rebound as Constance looks to make the pass?
Good run inside Haley Constance, maybe just a tad bit of contact there between her and Dawson Cox. These 2 drivers were going to race each other clean. Side by side as they roll through. Chad Fitzpatrick might try to follow Haley Constance through around Dawson Cox. Talk about these drivers on a slick Hoosier tire, and we've talked with them a little bit. You know, the tires, this is race number 3 of the year. How are those? Kind of starting to shake into Haley Constance makes the move. Here comes Chad Fitzpatrick trying to get up into the top 3 and can clear the 17. Good double move there for 2nd and 3rd.
It's a really good job by Fitzpatrick following that line that Haley made through. Once you can get somebody off the bottom, the longer he can string them up there, the better. And Fitzpatrick taking full advantage as he moves his way up and into 3rd. The 2-time runner-up here on the year at Evergreen Speedway, back onto the podium. Question is, now does anybody have anything for Nama Lang, who took the opportunity of those 3 racing for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to open it up a little bit on this front pack?
Yeah, Dawson Cox, Chad Fitzpatrick, a little bit of contact there, but they back out of each other a little bit more, but both drivers trying to keep each other straight. Nothing going on there, I would say. Right now, Haley Constance, not the same picture as these 2, starting to maybe pull away from Chad Fitzpatrick, maybe looking to start to close to Nama Lang quickly to 78, hustling back to the leader.
Yeah, she's got some speed. In fact, that little bit of room that Nama had opened up for himself, gone, as we are approaching 30 laps into this. Your race leader, Nama Lang, as the move for 3rd coming up. That's the 7 of Cox. He had a nice line underneath Fitzpatrick, and you don't see Chad leave the bottom open too often. See if Dawson can drive by. Better turn 1 this time for Chad. Is Cox going to have to reassess and find a new way by?
Yeah, Fitzpatrick gets those inside tires planted to that low painted line when he can. Doesn't like to leave the bottom open. We've discussed that here on Home Track Heroes before. So Dawson Cox might have to make the outside work, or just into a great shot here as we're going to see Nama and Haley come off turn 2 and run towards turn 3 side by side.
So it is Constance looking for opportunity to get by Nama Lang. 32 down, 43 to go. As looks like this field is kind of splitting off into multiple different battles by themselves. We need to take a timeout. We will come back with the conclusion of the Pro Late Model main event. That is coming up next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Home Track Heroes on the air for the final segment. Pro Late Models into the back half of their main event, halfway right now. I'm Caleb Hart, he's Ben Iman. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And Haley Constance sneaking around. Looked at the outside there coming off the 4th corner. Let's see what she's got to peek to the outside in turn 2 as well.
Yeah, Haley Constance looking for any way around Naima Lang. She's done well. She's closed this gap up. We've watched the times on the sheet slowly start to differ towards her favor. She's been running down faster laps than Naima Lang. Looking to the inside now. No, gets the door shut. Will she look to the outside out of turn 2?
She will. You saw her circle almost hang on to her in the outside. Coming through 4, she's going to slingshot it around again. And Naima's just getting a hair too low coming through the corner as well. So you've got some dual stuff going on. Haley getting faster outside. Naima, I think, taking the car just a little too low in the corners to make an effective entry to the next one. Now Constance rolling outside, sticks with it. Not quite there yet, as Haley's got the nose to the numbers, at least through the first and second corner. Let's watch and see what she does again in turn 3. Big surge into the turn.
And the big thing with this is that might open the door for Chad Fitzpatrick to get back in the battle. Constance stays side by side with Lang into turn 1. Not dropping off that time. They'll roll out of turn 2. Who has the better run? Haley Constance does, new leader, the 78.
Wow, drove around the outside of the 00. Big move for Constance as she'll take over the top spot here. 31 left in this. And coming up on slower traffic in Kyle Lang, no relation. Constance, Naima, Fitzpatrick in 3rd. Fitzpatrick has closed the gap as well, working towards those lead 2.
Yeah, Chad Fitzpatrick starting to appear in the same picture frame as our leaders here. We go on board with Kyle Lang here. Let's see, running, just kind of stepping outside, getting out of the way of the leaders. Smart move there for the 33.
Haley made a brake change during the off week and remarked, from what I've been told, is that the car feels a lot more consistent now. So you can see that in the speeds that she's putting in and down, as Constance has opened up about 3-4 car lengths on Naima here. 28 to go. Lang trying to keep her close enough that you can see those brakes heating up as well. As the race gets late, we'll see who managed their tire the best.
Off turn 4, we talked about. Got on the podium opening night, finished 5th night number 2, and on the podium after opening night, she remarked that she felt like she had a better car and was just trying to shake the thing, figure it out. So you can tell that this team has put in the work in the 3 weeks off and prepared that 78 to be fast. And right now, we're starting to run away from Naima Lang, but Naima Lang might be looking to close the gap a little bit, not getting away quite too far.
Well, we got to thank All Ply Roofing. Is your roof keeping up with all the weather, washing the dishes out? Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com. Your residential and commercial roofing team, All Ply Roofing. They are our sponsor here on Home Track Heroes. Couldn't do it without them. As a new roof, I'm sure you'll be looking at one. Give All Ply a ring. Top 3 all by themselves. Constance, Lang, and Fitzpatrick.
It's been a good run so far. The best battle has been between these 2 leaders. 25 or so laps here to go. Does Naima Lang have anything left in the tank to try to catch Haley Constance? Has he conserved maybe some of that tire? Maybe trying to set up for a move late? Who has the better long run versus short run?
And it has been a very long run. I mean, the only break that we've had in this one has been Brock going kaboom relatively early. So these drivers putting in some long laps, and to that extent, Naima is closing on Haley here.
Yeah, that JNR Trucking 00 pulling away from Chad Fitzpatrick in the 12C, closing in on the 78 of Haley Constance.
18 billion time track champion Naima Lang has picked up the pace and is starting to make things difficult on Constance out in front. It's down to a car length where she had opened it up to 3 or 4. So Naima flicked the switch, and this is gonna be a barn burner coming down late. 20 to go, and only a car length separates your top 2 for the top prize tonight.
Haley Constance gonna have to defend from Naima Lang. Taking a look at Chad Fitzpatrick now, kind of fallen off the battle of this top 2, but he's got a nice little gap back to 4th place, Dawson Cox.
Mind you, it's in the past, but again, we talked about Haley and Naima have driven each other physically in the past. So Chad needs to get himself close enough that if they do something silly, he is right there to pounce. Right now, not quite close enough to do that, as you're getting a look. This is 4th and 5th. Dawson Cox has drifted back of that top 3 battle, and Greg Bennett has used the opportunity to get closer to him.
Yeah, talking with Greg Bennett pre-race, told me, Caleb, the goal, see the checkered flag. That had not happened yet for the 98, but they took all of 2024 off. They knew coming into 2025 that there would probably be some bugs that needed to be shaken out, but Greg Bennett, that 98, right now challenging for the 4th place spot, and if he can close these last 17 laps, I'm sure that team back there for the 98 would be quite happy.
A lot of stuff going on with the 98 car last year. His kid was getting married, his construction business, very successful, very busy, so made sense to say, okay, race car, you can sit in the garage and cost me nothing this year. And now for a little extra time, he is putting some attention to it. Paying off tonight. Really solid looking 5th place run that still could be a 4th place before this is over.
Yeah, Greg Bennett, definitely a name to watch. And this is what I really love with the Chevrolet Pro Late models. I've said this coming into every week. Any one of these drivers in the field feel like they could get the setup right, they could get the tires put in right, and they could come out here and they could run up in the top of this field. I think that is something we're seeing, the parity across these cars. You see big gaps, and you might be like, Ben, what are you talking about? This is, of course, over a long run. We've been green for quite a few laps here now. So the long run, we're going to spread out. But each week coming in, I truly believe any one of these cars can be the fastest on the day.
Let's throw another X factor into that as well. We have yet to see defending champion Wyatt Gardner.
Correct.
And we will at some point in time, according to Wyatt. It's not going to be too much longer before he'll come out and make his season debut here at Evergreen Speedway. As you get a look at Fitzpatrick looming in the distance as you watch Constance and Lang burning up the track, down to 12 to go, 11 the next time by for your front 2.
And these two are trading quicker laps. Haley quicker one lap, Nema quicker the next lap, Haley quicker the lap after that. Neither one of them giving an inch, and Nema Lang starting to get real close on the back of the 78.
You wonder if Nema made an adjustment after he lost the lead. There isn't much to adjust in these race cars. You do have a brake bias adjuster that can change your percentage from front to back, but really I see it in line. He is nowhere near as low on the racetrack as he was when Haley was right on him. He has definitely moved that car up just a few feet, and I think that's added to his speed.
Yeah, all of that can matter. It can be the difference of a few feet for these drivers as across the line. Look how close Nema Lang is to the back of Haley Constance. Knocking on the door. Anybody home?
Yeah, good battles all over the place, too. It's not just limited to this up front run, as Lang up and on the back of the 78, and he's going to be looking for a gap. You watch him going into corner number 1. Boy, Haley looks pretty stable, though. There's not a lot of flaws in the defense for Lang to exploit. He may need to have to come up and take this from her rather than wait on the 78 to make a mistake.
Yeah, Nema Lang is going to have to go on the offensive. Less than a heat race distance to go here for the Evergreen Speedway, the Super Speedway of the West. Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late model. Here we go, closing in. Nema Lang, does he have what it takes to get to the back of the 78? We know he's got the skill. We know the car's there. Can he put it all together?
Yeah, you're watching in from this Brand Good Promotions GoPro camera. Haley gets into the corner. The car is still pretty stuck. You don't see the back end moving all the way around. You can't see the nose going all over the place here in the front picture. So she's still running a really good line. It's going to be up to Nema to try to swing above her, or he's going to have to use the front nose and tap her and get her moving.
Chad Fitzpatrick settled in third here, not coming under fire from anyone further back. He's just kind of settled in our final podium spot right now with 5 laps to go. Nema's dropped off the back a little bit, but might be setting up one last try to run. Would not surprise, give yourself a little bit of a gap and set that move up.
Constance wants every bit of track space that she can create right now from Nema. The further in the rearview mirror he goes, the better it'll be. 3 left for Haley.
Now you can see the rotor glow on both of those machines. Those brakes hot and heavy. Greg Bennett still trying to get to the back of the 7B of Dawson Cox. Good run for the 98, trying to get into that top 4.
Black and red cars going to battle from position 4 as they make their way into the 3rd and 4th corner. Bennett's tried sailing that car up a little bit. It doesn't look as happy in that middle groove as it does down on the bottom. And we've got an X factor in this. Now, Kyle Lang is more than likely going to be told to hold his line or move over, and you can see that flag is out, and Kyle is going to get way out of the way. So good sportsmanship there from the 33. As your top 2 have 1 lap to go, and coming off of 4. Checkered in the air, Haley Constance gets the win over Naima Lang, and Chad Fitzpatrick. It is the first win for the Joe's Chassis late model. Congratulations to Haley, making her dad and all the rest of us proud. Let's go down to victory lane and talk to your top three.
Chad, well, 3 runs in 2025 and 3 podiums. Talk about that race for me. How did that break down for you guys?
You know, we tried a couple things. I think it got better over time. Just maybe needed caution to catch up to them. That was a great battle to watch. I was just hoping maybe I would be able to join it. But if I could sum up this race season at Evergreen Speedway so far, it would be consistent in one word.
A great run for you guys. What more do you think you potentially needed to catch up to that battle?
You know, I really don't know at this point. We're going to go back to the drawing board. You know, you can't be mad for 3 top 3s in a row. So I'm hoping one of these times we can move up 2 spots. But yeah, we'll just keep digging, keep working on it, and eventually we'll get there.
Who do you want to thank for helping to get out here tonight?
I want to thank all my crew. They work their butts off to get this here every week or every race. I want to thank, of course, all my sponsors, Trademark RCS, Mazda of Everett, Powder Coating Inc., Fastenal, Accident, Napa. I got a whole bunch of others, and of course, I've been racing for 21 years, and my mom has been to every single race except for 2, and this is one of them. So she told me if I get a podium, I'm supposed to say hi, Mom, so hi, Mom.
Let's give it a 3rd place tonight, Chad Fitzpatrick. Naima, that was quite the battle to watch you and Haley going back and forth for a long portion of that race. What more do you think you needed to get to the 78?
Tires. It's, this 2 tires a week. I can feel the front end just skipping in the middle, and but she ran good. She ran me clean. We ran me on the outside, and I have all the respect in the world for doing that. She had a good race car, and Tech is not bad.
Yeah, 3 podiums to open the year. That's got to feel pretty good for everyone back in the 00 camp.
Yeah, especially after last year.
And who do you want to thank for helping to get out here?
J&R Truck Rentals, Lang Auto Sports, D Young Inc., and MJ's Auto Transport.
All right, let's give it up. 2nd place tonight, driver of the 00, Naima Lang. Well, Haley, that was quite the race. You got to Naima, but that wasn't an easy catch to catch him and then to keep him defended. What were you doing up front most of the time up there?
Yeah, I mean, after I got past Naima on the outside, I knew I had to run because obviously he's a really good driver, has a really fast car. Towards the end, my spotter started telling me that he was getting closer and closer, so I was just hanging on for dear life. But it was a really fun race. We finally got the new Joe's chassis tuned up and really, really good. It's a great car. I can't thank my crew enough. My dad, he's been busting his butt every single night in the shop, out there till midnight, 1 in the morning, stressing himself out with this car, and we finally got it on the podium in the 1st place position, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, great race for you. Obviously, the tires have an old thing. How about managing that throughout the race? How hard has that been for you guys?
Yeah, so far I've noticed with the 75 laps, you don't really have to manage your tires too much. They stay pretty consistent throughout the race. Obviously, towards the end, especially with no cautions, they start to get a little worn out. But besides that, just working on myself, not getting tired and falling out of the seat, I think that's been a little bit more important.
And who do you want to thank for helping to get out here?
Joe's Racing Products, Central Welding, Diablos, my traffic man, my grandpa, my family, my dad. There's a lot that I'm forgetting, but I'm just super excited to be up here. So.
All right, let's give it up. Your race winner, the 78, Haley Constance.
Another fantastic night here on Home Track Heroes. Ben Iman, well done tonight. Killer show, and we got even more fun stuff coming up here soon.
Absolutely. It's so much more to come from the Super Speedway of the West. We are excited about what we have to offer coming up.
It is the Granite Can-Am Shootout. Next week on the show, you know how much I love sprint cars, guys. Pavement sprint cars, the absolute fire-breathing monsters. They'll be on the program along with our support divisions next week. Next time, you can come to the track. Pro Late Models in action once again for their 4th show of the year. That is going to be on Saturday, May 17th. Street Stocks, Mini Stocks, Hornets, and Stinger 8s as well. For DT on TV, Ben Iman, my co-host. Fantastic job to the Hobbs family for producing on this one and all our awesome camera people. I am Caleb Hart. We'll see you next Sunday night right here for more Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.